All right, everybody, we made it. We made it to Trump's first 100 days in office. We're going to go over a couple videos and look at some past approval ratings for past presidents and see how Trump holds up to all that. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this first video right here.
Touting President Donald Trump's economic agenda on day 100 of his second term.
President Trump is delivering on his promises to lower costs for American families and businesses.
But research nonprofit The Conference Board's April reading of
I want to just pause right there and just say that is a complete and utter lie. He is currently raising prices for all Americans on consumer goods with all of his ridiculous tariffs because, as we all know, say it with me, tariffs are a regressive tax.
Consumer confidence hit its lowest level in almost 5 years, with tariffs top of mind for consumers surveyed.
Basically, anyone who's making a big purchase, whether it's an air conditioner, a refrigerator, a washer, a dryer, is thinking much harder about tariffs than they wish they ever had to. And they're not quite sure what to do or when.
The White House touted progress in things like job creation and labor force participation for those without a high school diploma since Trump took office, and slowing inflation. But Cardiff Garcia, editorial director for the Economic Innovation Group, says those indicators can lag.
Things look fine, but it doesn't mean that things actually are fine. It just takes some time for actual things that happen in the real economy to translate into those economic indicators.
Justin Wolfers, professor of economics and public policy at the University of Michigan, says the tariff uncertainty for both businesses and consumers could slow spending and the U.S. economy.
Lots of families are sitting around the kitchen table right now worried about the prospect of a recession. If that's the case, now's the time to save for a rainy day. Maybe pull back on that big purchase you were going to make. If that happens, consumers pull back on spending, that could be the first step towards a recession.
A reading of first quarter U.S. economic growth set to release Wednesday morning could foreshadow challenges ahead. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
All right, there's just a couple things I wanted to go over right there. First off, the inflation is going to come. We're probably 2 to 3 weeks out from getting hyperinflation on consumer goods due to the tariffs. I seen a study the other day on the LA port of entries, and they're down 60% on container ships. That's gonna skyrocket our consumer good prices and just lead to a lot of economic hardship in the near future. As far as it lasting a long time, I don't know. Trump could make a deal today, right now, as we speak with China, and it would still have about a 55-day lag because that's the time frame it takes for shipments to get over from China. Also, I would like to say that this guy right here was talking about now's the time to start pinching pennies and saving for a rainy day. In theory, that sounds really good, but in practicality, most people are living paycheck to paycheck and can't even afford a $500 emergency tire bill or something along those lines. So just the notion of, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and save because, you should be making $200,000 a year, no problem, right? Right? But anyways, let's move on to this next video right here and see what they have to say about Trump's first 100 days.
100 days in office by highlighting his economic accomplishments. He's headed to the home of the American auto manufacturing industry for a rally with supporters. Natalie Brand has the latest.
President Trump closed his campaign in battleground Michigan and returns tonight to mark 100
My man got the moves right there. I can't even tell you.
days.
After building the greatest economy in the world in his first term as president.
Let's back it up just a tidbit. The greatest economy in the world. That's kind of setting a big bar for the big boy right there, don't you say? Yeah, I'd say our economy was much stronger post Second World War for the first 40, 50 years. The middle class grew exponentially. Now it is just shrinking. I think our homeless population is somewhere in the realm of 800,000 people right now, including veterans. And Fun fact, we have more empty houses in America than we do homeless people. So, you tell me why that's going on. Anyways, let's get back to it.
President Trump is in the process of doing that all over again.
The trip to the key automotive hub comes as the administration could be easing tariffs on the auto industry. CBS News has learned the president will sign an executive order today easing the 25% tariff for steel and aluminum for automakers, while the separate tariff on imported cars is expected to remain in place.
The goal here is to bring back the high quality industrial jobs to the U.S.
The latest CBS News poll shows.
Let me stop it right there. See, he talks about bringing the high quality industrial jobs back to the U.S. But in order to bring those jobs back to the U.S., the tariffs would have needed to be paired with industrial policy. See, rich people aren't just going to come over and say, hey, yeah, I'll go ahead and put all of my money into this, because rich people don't think that way. They say, well, what can the government give me? Why do you think Elon Musk is going so hardcore on Doge? He's not actually looking for waste, fraud, and abuse. He's just looking for a way to get him richer. You notice none of the waste, fraud, and abuse are in his companies for some reason, right?
President Trump's approval of handling the economy has declined in recent weeks, and more than 60% of those surveyed believe he's too focused on tariffs, not enough on lowering prices.
We're the largest producer of truck frame assembly lines in North America.
Joe Perkins, whose company provides technology systems for the automotive industry, says he's hopeful for clarity.
How long can I maintain current cost structure? That is something that keeps me up all night, and literally something that I have to think about every single day.
Tariff negotiations are underway with dozens of U.S. trading partners, but Canada's new prime minister issued this warning.
Our old relationship with the United States, a relationship based on steadily increasing integration, is over.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says progress has been made in talks with a number of Asian trading partners. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Canada's new prime minister says he will sit down with President.
So we'll just stop it right there. These tariffs are not only going to hurt the economy as a whole with consumer goods, it's also hurting all of our relations around the world. Trump's first term, he tore up a lot of good policy. The Iran nuclear agreement, that was a great policy, and that really hindered our stance in the world, because now they're that close to having nuclear arms, and we're not doing any better by it. Paris Climate Agreement, he set us back decades for the climate because of that. He's hindering all of our relationships around the world, and we're losing all of our credibility. The leaders around the world aren't going to take us serious if they think we're going to just keep on voting in dictators like this. We really have to turn it around if we want anybody to take us serious in the future. I got one last thing to show everybody. And this is just a approval chart of Trump right now. According to Fox News' latest polls, Trump's approval rating is currently at 44%, with 55% disapproval. That is down 1 point from Trump's 45% approval 8 years ago, according to Fox News. It is lower than Joe Biden's 54%, Barack Obama's 62%, and George W. Bush's 63% at the 100-day mark, and down 5 points from Trump's 49% approval in March. So basically, not only do we all, as leftists, progressives, Democrats, independents, not only do we all see that Trump is a horrendous failure of a president, but his own people are starting to see it now. With approvals that low, I mean, these are record low approvals for presidents in their first 100 days. The majority of times, presidents have a very good approval rating in their first 100 days, and then it just plummets from there over the next 3.5 years or so. And it's not looking good for our boy Trump. Anyways, if you like the video, a subscribe would really help grow the channel. Ring that bell, drop me a comment. What do you think about all this 100 days? Did Trump do anything good in his first 100 days? I don't think so, but I'd love to hear what you all have to say. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Later.